So today we're going to talk about the first part of this, which is basically we're going to do the ratios, unit rates, and we're going to do one-step conversions, right? Tomorrow we will do the multi-step conversions and we'll do something separate. So when they say the word ratio, all that means is it tells how much of one thing there is compared to another. For example, if you were talking about our classroom and you would say, maybe there are, 14 boys to 17 girls, okay? And you reduce them like a fraction, right? But it can be written in several ways. Ratios can be written as fractions. They also can be written with a colon between them or with words, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, the unit rate it tells how many units of one thing there is compared to exactly one other, right? So, like when I say, for example, miles per gallon, that's assuming 1 gallon, right, of gas. So, how many miles are you getting for 1 gallon? Or how much are you paying for one bag of chips, right? Like in the store, sometimes it says you can buy they're on sale 3 for 5, right? Well, okay, maybe you don't want to buy 3. Maybe you only want to buy 1, right? That's the unit rate is what that is. Okay, so this first one is comparing unit rates. And most of you can do this intuitively, which is why I had you start. It says you're shopping for t-shirts, which store offers the best deal. And then store A, you get $25 for 2 shirts. Store B is $45 for 4 shirts. And store C is $30 for 3 shirts. So to figure out who's really the best deal, what do? Go on. For each one, though, right? So this is called finding the unit rate, right? To find out how much there is for one. So store A, you would do $25 divided by 2 shirts. And what do we get? Which in money is $12.50. And then we say that like this. We would say per shirt. That's a unit rate because a unit rate is always per one of something, right? So could you just write it as $12.5 over 1? Technically, yes, as a fraction, right? So another way you would write that is you could say in words $12.50 per shirt or per one shirt. The last way they write it sometimes, and it's not, you don't see this very often in money situations. You normally see the fraction or the word per, but the other way they write it is with a colon. You could do $12.50, and then that is, you use a colon per one shirt like that. Those are all the same way of, different ways, of writing the same thing. So store B, we would divide again. You would do $45 divided by 4, and then raise your hand if you've got the amount that time. David, go ahead. 11.25. So this is $11.25 per shirt. So far, who's the better deal? Store A or B? Store B. So then store C is like, yo, I'm in on this too, right? So this is $30. And this one's easy mental math for 3 shirts. How much per shirt? $10 per shirt. Okay, which store has the best deal? Store C has the best deal. And we kind of do this mentally all the time, especially if you're shopping, you don't want to get ripped off. If you're getting these shirts are the same, we're assuming that, right? You definitely want to purchase from the store that's going to give you the best deal. And so what happens is sometimes people don't calculate that in their mind. And they think, like, for example, some of the bigger stores that get stuff in bulk, right? These big items in bulk, they're like, yeah, bulk, I'm getting the best deal. But if you actually do the division, sometimes you're not, okay? And so that's something you have to make sure you're doing so you don't get ripped off. Okay, that's number one. Second thing is conversion, is our first start of conversions. Now, these are all simple conversions. If you are unsure of conversions and what equals what, I copied for you a basic conversion chart here, okay? Now, this does not have every conversion, but it does tell you some. We will add some to this. For example, you might not know that 1 mile is the same as 5,280 feet, right? So this you can use to help you. We will add stuff to it as we go. I just took the one that I found that had the most comprehensive list and copied it for you. All right? So the converting 1 unit, right? This is what we want to do. If we wanted to convert 330 minutes to hours, right? Some of you can do this already, and you're thinking, okay, there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, right? And so what would you do with those two numbers? What would we do, Joel? We would divide. Now, I'm going to show you the technical way to do this, because when we do multi-step ones, then you're going to need that. But I'm okay with you going, 330 minutes divided by what? 60, and getting that answer. But technically what you do is this. You got 330 minutes. And really what you're doing is you're timesing by a conversion, right? And in a conversion, it's a fraction. And what you want to do is this 330 minutes is technically over 1. Okay? Correct. Yep. And so we are trying to get rid of minutes, right? So to cancel out minutes, we know that would technically be at the bottom, because we need that to cancel in fractions. You would put something at the top and something at the bottom. And what are we trying to get is hours, right? And the conversion we know that you just explained to me is that 1 hour is 60 minutes. Now, I know I'm going to go into the B, so I'm going to move B over here, okay? I will do that in a second. But what this means, and this goes back to multiplying fractions, you always just multiply top times top. So 330 times 1 is 330, right? And what's left here is hours, because we canceled our minutes. Then bottom times bottom, 1 times 60 is 60, right? And so a fraction means division. 330 divided by 60. Did anyone already get that answer? 5.5 hours is what you're left with. Okay? That's the technical way we convert. But those singular conversions, if you know it already in your mind, right? That, I would just divide. I'm totally okay. I'm showing you all of the math, the technical math, because when we do multi-step, you have to have it. All right, let's go down here. 5 foot. Actually, no, we're going to go in order. 15 kilograms to grams. So this one, again, I'll do it down here, actually. I'm going to move that to right down here so we have space. So I want to go 15 kilograms, and I want to change it to grams. Okay, so now you might be unsure about this. Does anyone know the conversions of grams to kilograms? And if you don't, it's on the conversion chart. What is it, David? 1,000 what?
Grams to 1 kilogram.
That's right. So does that mean now if you're doing this in the fast way, right? Does that mean to multiply or divide then?
Multiply.
Okay. You would multiply, right? But if you didn't know that, if you were unsure, this is what you would do. You would start with what you know, 15 kilograms over 1. And then you would multiply by, now, we want kilograms to go away, so we'll put that on the bottom, right? And we're going to put grams on the top so we can cancel kilograms. And the conversion If you don't know it, it's on the chart, but 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. So if we do this like multiplying fractions, 15 times 1,000, top times top, is 15,000. And now we have grams. What's 1 times 1 for the bottom? And what's 15,000 divided by 1? So we end with 15,000 grams as our final answer. Now, I'm totally okay with you doing this without doing all the fractions on these more simple ones. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit more challenging. 5 foot 3 inches to inches. All right, now, there's one part of this that's already in inches, right? So we don't have to convert that part. The only part we have to convert is the 5 feet, right? How many inches are in 1 foot? 12. So are we going to multiply or divide? Excuse me. We're going to multiply. Now, again, if you didn't know that, what you would do is you would go, okay, 5 feet over 1 times, and now what are we trying to cancel? So it goes where? Top or bottom? Bottom. Okay, and then we're changing that to inches, so we put that on the top. Cancel out feet. Okay, what did we just say? How many inches in 1 foot? 12 inches in 1 foot. So now we do this. 5 times 12 gives us 60 inches. 1 times 1 is 1. So now our answer is 60 inches, but that's not our final answer, right? What's our final answer? Yeah, because we have to add that extra 3 inches that was already converted. So our final answer is 5 foot 3 inches is equal to 63 inches. That's a conversion. Pretty easy so far? Yeah, not too bad. Okay, so we have one more for today's lesson, and that's on the back, which of course is our quote-unquote story problem. And rates and unit rates have lots of story problems. Now, the multi-step one we'll get to tomorrow, so that will be problem 4. Today we're going to end with problem 3. So here it is. The CN Tower in Toronto, Canada is about 1,815 feet tall. And the crazy thing about that tower is there are spots on it, if you've ever been on it, I have, where the floor is glass. And you can walk right over it, and it looks like you're gonna fall. It's kind of crazy. It's really fun. But if you're like weird about heights, I do not recommend doing that because it's clear and you're like, whoa. About how many meters tall is the tower? Now, sometimes, a lot of times actually, they will give you the conversion. It says 1 meter is 3.28 feet. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start with what we know. We know that the CN Tower is 1,815 feet tall. And we're going to put that over 1. And we're going to multiply it by a new fraction, okay? Tell me the right order of this second fraction that we're going to multiply it by using the conversion that is given. Go ahead, David. What do we got?
The top is 1, the bottom is 3.28.
Okay, and the reason we know this, right, is we're trying to cancel feet and get meters. Okay, so top times top, 1,815 times 1. And now we're down to meters here. 1 times 3.28. What could have been our shortcut? To divide, okay? But in the end, we're going to divide. If we're unsure, we write it out anyway. 1,815 divided by 3.28. Raise your hand if you've got it. Go ahead. And what's our unit now?
Meters tall.
Meters.
That.
Okay.
You want meters tall?
We want meters. In this case, it says about how many meters tall is the tower? right?
So what did you write meters tall?
You would write meters, or you can write meters tall. It's asking you it in the question. All right, so that's our lesson for today to get us through the first part. Good deal. Okay, now if you're watching the video today, our assignment is going to be 2-6 practice, and we're only going to do 1 through 15 because we don't know the other part yet. Okay, so 1 through 15 is where we're going to go today.